Hello guys, as many of you probably know, on the 4th of September, SCS released the Actros DLC. This is a tuning and accessories DLC for the Mercedes models in the Euro Truck Simulator 2. If you have not purchased it yet, I would recommend you to do so. It is available on Steam and it's really not very expensive. It's only around 4 euro, but it brings a lot of content and is going to make your gaming experience in ETS2 much more enjoyable. This will be a video introduction of the Mercedes Actros MP3. As you probably know, MP3 is abbreviation for body style design of Mercedes trucks that have been produced between the years of 2008 and 2012. And in ETS2 there are currently MP3 and MP4 Mercedes models so far. But in this video I'll be talking about MP3, the new features that are coming with the DLC, and some of the improvements on the base game that are available for free, even if you have not purchased the DLC. Before I continue, I would like to say a few words about myself and the reason why I'm making this video. My name is Vladislav Georgiev. I'm a senior vehicle artist, and for the most part, I've done most of the modeling, texturing, and scripting work on the Mercedes MP3 for this DLC. So everything I'll be talking about in this video is either done by me or I have a significant contribution into making it. The reason why I'm making this video is because although there are many nice videos about the DLC already, I could not find one that is about the exact things that I would like to show you. Other than that, I would gladly not do it, as it is my first time to make a commentary video, and I definitely don't consider myself very good at making videos like this, but I will try anyways. So hopefully it will be useful, and along the way I'll be able to show you some cool things that are possible in ETS2 now. And also I would like to apologize in advance for the bad audio. If you have any trouble understanding what I'm saying, I'll make sure to include the subtitles for this video. As said earlier, there are some improvements on the Mercedes MP3 after the release of the Actros DLC that are included in the base game, even if you have not purchased the DLC. So I would like to take a few minutes to show you what these are. This is before and after screenshot. The truck on the left is the way the model looked like before, and the truck on the right is how it looks now. And this is in the base game, even if you haven't purchased any updates. It's just a free update of this model. First thing I would like to show you are the improvements of the body parts of the MP3. Some details have been added in topology, for example grooves like this one here. But what makes a bigger difference is the fact that the vertex normals of the entire cabin and some of the chassis parts have been optimized. I will try not to get into the technical details too much because this is not a modeling tutorial, and that's not the point here. Just so you know what I'm speaking about, I will show you really quick. Vertex normals are these green and yellow lines that are protruding from the corners of this polygon, and essentially these are doing the same thing as normal maps, telling the rendering engine how to render certain surface. But instead of being stored in textures, they're part of the geometry itself. So in hard surface models like this, especially vehicles where we are concerned about the quality of the reflections and the specular highlights, when they're cast over complex shapes and there are many gaps and grooves, like in the case of vehicle body parts, the vertex normals are extremely important. So if you take a careful look on the photo I'm showing you here, you will notice the truck on the right side looks better than the one on the left. Or if you revert ETS2 to the version that was publicly available before the release, and do a comparison to this model with the most recent release, which is 1.35, you will notice the same thing. And basically this is due to smoother reflections and optimized vertex normals. The other thing that have changed is now the truck have an engine badges. Before there were none. What do I mean by engine badge? These are these digits on the side of the doors, on the left and the right, and this thing here, V8. So in game I can show this. Now if you change the chassis type, the badge changes based on the type of chassis that you pick. The first two digits here are based on chassis, and the second two digits are based on engine. So every time you pick a different engine, these digits will change. And also when you have engine that is V8, this badge here will change. The other thing is now the truck has this Mercedes logo on the door. I was missing before. The other thing that's different is the lower part of the bumper, this part over here. You can see it has been remodeled. It looks nicer than the previous one. The other thing that is improved also are the headlights. Some of the materials are a bit better looking, and the headlights look better, but for this I have to have the lights on, and with the old stroke, so it's not possible with this screenshot. But yeah, there are some improvements on the headlights. The other thing that's better now is also the front grille. So I mean these openings here that are for the air to get inside the engine compartment. As you can see here, this is a texture, and it does not look very nice, but in the newer version this is geometry, and it looks much cleaner, much nicer than before. There are some parts that have been retextured, like windshield frame, and this here is called S-strip, and the rear fenders have been retextured with new ambient occlusion, so they look nicer now. Before, the truck had side skirts. Side skirt is this piece here, as you probably know. This is a side skirt. So before the release of the Actros DLC, there was a side skirt with this model, and the other one that has these big distances. There is one with 2 axles and has the same distance here, but there is one with 2 axles, which is this one here. Sorry, not this one. That makes the distance between the front axle and the rear axles much narrower, smaller. And before there was no side skirt for this type of chassis, but now you can change every type of side skirt, and there will be shorter for the truck. So this is new, and also there are new paint jobs. Not, but I mean these are colors, okay? So before the Mercedes MP3 had only this sort of paints, and if you wanted metallic paint, you should have bought the metallic paint jobs DLC, so you can apply metallic colors. and you only had, I think, these two colors, and you were supposed to use this gadget here to pick a color, which is kind of hard to use, especially if you're going after some specific color that exists in the real world, and it's looking realistic, like a realistic metallic paint. So this, after the release, the Mercedes MP3 has 6 pre-made metallic paints that are based on real world Mercedes colors, Mercedes paints, real paints. So if you want, you can use those. And also there is this limited edition version that you can use. It is open and you can change the color. So now, after we discussed the changes in the base game, I can start telling you about the actual tuning pack itself. As you know, for a long time now, in Euro Truck Simulator, all the truck brands, they've had replaceable accessories. Things like sun visors, tongue guards, bull bars, side exhausts, or cabin accessories like dashboard sets, curtains, coffee mugs, toys, etc. But ever since the Mighty Griffin tuning pack, DAF tuning pack, and now the Actros, we have some new types of accessories. For example, now the actual body parts of the trucks are replaceable, like bumpers, front rear fenders, side skirts, front mask, front logo, and also with those tuning packs, there are some completely new types of accessories, like American type of exhausts that are located behind the cabin, chassis covers, window or door trims, and others. But with the tuning pack, regardless if we talk about the old type of accessory or new, it doesn't really matter. In all these categories have been added new accessories. So in general, now there are many more replaceable parts that will allow you to customize your favorite truck. So guys, after you install the DLC, you will notice probably that you have more of these little circles that are all over the truck. So these are pins, and when you hover over them, you will notice that they will show you the name of the particular accessory that they're related to, and if you click on that, they will show you a menu here where you can choose to switch to whatever you like. And in some cases, you may notice that those are grayed out. It means that there is only one accessory. Also, if I, for example, disable all of the accessories, you will see everything grayed out now. It just means that there is nothing that you can select, like an alternative to what is already there. So this is what those are. Yeah, I think I would like to show you is there is something like in-game terminology about the accessories in general. So if you get, for example, the front mask, you will see some accessories are called plastic, paint, or chrome. In this case, it's chrome and paint. But there is something about these naming conventions that I would like to tell you. So if it's a plastic, it does not mean that if it's not named plastic, it's not made by plastic. For example, the whole body parts of the exterior are usually plastic, as you may know. But if you select the plastic one, you will see it means that it's that dark gray plastic that has no paint on it. Okay, and it's also on here on the windshield frame, on the S-strip, or on the rear fenders. In this case it's by default, in this case it's not by default, but it's the same type of plastic that has no paint. So that if it's called here plastic, that this is what it means. It's a dark gray plastic that has no paint. The other thing is sometimes it's called paint, and the icon here in the user interface is white. And you may ask yourself why it's white, it might try to be different color. Well, the reason for that is because basically when it says paint or paintable, your accessory will take whatever color is the paint job that you have currently selected. So it doesn't really matter, and everything will work. And actually, one thing that is interesting to point out is if you have some of these paint jobs that are like wallpaper on the side of the truck, and you select a paintable accessory, it will always match the picture. As you can see, these clouds go through the S strip and through the windshield frame, and it doesn't really matter that they're going to go through the fenders. Everything that I selected is paintable. That's what's going to happen. It will take the paint job color and it will apply it to that accessory, because the accessory is called paintable. And in some cases, like here, they may have a specific name, but you can orient yourself by the white color. So if it's white and it's not chrome or plate, which is that metal that has grooves on it, so it's not slippery. And this one here, I cannot zoom really close, but I hope you can see it's a metal that is meant to step on. And so they can be chrome, plate, or paintable. Okay, so when you select paintable, it will take the color of the paint job that you're using. Regardless of what it is, it will always take that color. So that's why it's called paint. And the other one, the last one is chrome. For chrome, it is self-explanatory. Basically, when you select accessory that is chrome, it will be either all made by chrome, or it will have some important feature in the accessory that are made by chrome that's important to be called, important enough to call the accessory chrome. For example, on this truck, there is this interesting combinations between the chassis cover and the rear bumper, where you can match them, because it would not look nice to have chrome here and something else over here. This is like continuation to the chassis cover, although it's part of the rear bumper. So I would suggest, it's not mandatory of course, this is a matter of whatever you would like, but if you use chrome here, it will most likely look best if you select chrome on the rear bumper as well. So these are the types of naming conventions that we have in the game. Instead of showing each accessory one after another, which I thought it might be a bit boring, I decided to make two example tuning variants, one with the low roof sleeper and one with the Mega Spice cabin. It's probably more interesting than making comments on the names of the accessories. It's really, there is not much to comment on how the accessories are named. And if you want to see them, I would recommend you to use the filters in the truck browser, which is on the left hand side. When you click the icons here in the game, that is for the accessories. On the left hand side of the screen, it shows the truck browser and then the list of accessories. So over there is a search bar, and on the right of the search bar there is a filter. So I would recommend when you have lots of accessories and you cannot figure out what is new and what is from the DLC, although all the DLC parts have a specific icon that is red background and A, which stands for Actros. So this is how it's marked, but for easier way to find the Actros accessories, you can always click on the filter, disable everything else, and just enable the Actros accessories. This is how you can see only the Actros accessories really quick, and then you can revert it. So that's one thing. And another thing that I would recommend is just in general when you want to customize and add tuning parts to your truck. This is a game, you can go about it any way you want, but if you are looking to get some better results, I would just recommend take a few minutes and think how would you like your truck to look like when you're done. Do a internet search for tuning Euro trucks, or just look at some pictures, some examples. Familiarize yourself with what professional tuning designers have done. It's a good thing that you're not the first that's trying to add tuning parts to this truck, so it's always good inspiration to look at what other tuning designers have been able to achieve with adding tuning accessories. It is rather finding the perfect balance between the colors of your truck, the shapes, and the material types. In ETS2, sometimes you may find that there are not enough accessories as you would like, but sometimes you may be surprised to discover that there is even more variety than what is available in the real world. For example, behind the cabin American type of exhausts are, I would say, probably very rare in the real world, but in the game we have so many of them, so that's just one example. I'm pretty sure there are others. And if you sometimes find that there is not enough accessories as you would like, use a bit of your patience, your creativity, and you will find something to replace the accessory that you would like, but it's not in the game yet. So that will be all for me. I hope you'll find at least something in this video useful, and hopefully you enjoy this DLC for Euro Truck Simulator 2. Thanks for watching.